don't know what these are, then you're too young. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. Today we have got 2021 Jeep Gladiator, and this one is a Willy. It's a Willy. It's a Willy Sport 4x4, and this one, I like it because it is a manual. And this is one of the first times you'll hear me say that the manual in this case almost does not make sense. So stick with me. I'm gonna give you guys a walk around little tour of the Willy. The Willy, that just makes me laugh. I should probably grow up, I'm a child. But the Willy's Jeep, and you know, we'll talk about it and give you some high points, some low points, some things I would change, some things I might love, some things I might hate. It's very capable, and I feel like the Gladiator makes a lot of sense because it's a truck with SUV practicality, and on top of that, it's a convertible. So it's definitely a jack of a lot of trades. I wouldn't say of all trades, but I mean, if this had a V8 in it, it would definitely be a jack of all trades, I feel like. This is the Willy's Jeep, or the Willy's Gladiator, and it's got these 17-inch wheels on there. I believe they're 32-inch tires, so it's a pretty nice setup. It's very aggressive, very off-roady, and from this view you wouldn't realize that it's got a whole pickup bed on the other side. But overall, I mean, the Gladiator is not bad. It's not my favorite looking truck. It kind of looks like in the soft top that it's wearing a toupee, and that really kind of doesn't sit the best for me. But overall, I mean, it's not bad looking. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 on looks, and I feel like they just kind of added the bed as an afterthought. You can see signs of that where like it feels like an afterthought, because from a production standpoint, yes, it makes sense to just use the same doors, but because this isn't touching the arches, you don't actually need to cut the door slit like that. But Jeep decided to just keep those doors the same as you find on any of the Wrangler Unlimiteds. Then your bed, 5-foot bed, and it fits most of the things that you need to fit. And you know, 4-wheel drive, there's that. So that's all the space that you really need. Fit a motorcycle back here. It's got little LED lights, backup camera, tow hooks, tow hitch. And I mean, overall, it's good looking. Pretty solid. Removable doors, convertible, pickup truck. Checks all the boxes of things that you could really need, I guess. Under the hood, you get a 3.6 liter V6 that makes 285 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. It's got an 8-speed automatic, or you get the option of a 6-speed manual. So the manual is the base option, and it's about $2,000 difference to get an automatic. And the great thing about the automatic is the towing difference. If you get the manual, you're only looking at about 4,500 towing capacity, whereas if you get the automatic, 7,000 towing capacity. So it makes a huge difference. And I mean, I can't really say much or show you much on this thing. It's a pretty basic model, and starting at about $33,000, somewhere in that ballpark. The top on this one is really easy to take off. You've got your latch there, your latch here. This all slides right back. You got your speakers up at the top. I mean, and then this is just kind of what the interior looks like. I'll hop in here and show you. So you've got your manual transmission. It is a 6-speed. It's fairly solid shifter. I'll get into that once I get into the driving aspect of it. You got your grab handle right here for intense off-roading, if you do that. You got the little basic screen here, which isn't too bad. It gets the job done. It's just a tiny, tiny little 3.5-inch screen. But overall, I mean, it's got what you need. It's got a compass, so you know you're heading north. Some of you guys are really fantastic in how you can tell you're heading north, east, south, west, no matter what. Me, not so much. Outside temperature, clock. You can activate the rear camera when needed. You got your little top-down view. So it's actually really not really basic, but it's what you need. I mean, it checks all the boxes. You got your climate control settings there, all really easy. You can actually turn off your stop start, so that's actually pretty nice if you're really not a fan of that. It's really handy in this. I have no complaints. You do get a couple ports here, USB, USB-C, aux. And then let's move our attention to the driver's side, and you can see you've got your wheel here, and it's a pretty standard setup. You know, you get in any of these modern Jeep nowadays and you really know where you are. Analog gauges, but they look solid. You got the little orange accents in there. You got your cruise control settings right here. You got your Bluetooth settings right here. And in normal Jeep typical fashion, you've got audio controls on the back of the wheel. And then here, you got your lighting controls. And that's really it. Your doors, wind-up windows. If you don't know what these are, then you're too young. So sorry about that. This is how we in the older generation had to do it back in the day. But yeah, these doors aren't too heavy either. But yeah, this is it. Like I said, because it's got this little notch still here, it makes it a little awkward to get in and out, but there's plenty of space once you do get in. So this is me. I'm 5'9". The seat is set for me 5'9", and I got plenty of room back here. Let's flip this around. So this is what it looks like for headroom. As you can imagine, there's plenty. There's technically no roof. It's a soft top. So you get a little extra headroom for your tall passengers. So pretty nice for adventuring. Overall, I give this back seat an A+. But LJ, where's all my storage? Oh, don't worry. Jeep's got you. Look at that. The other thing is, if you pop your doors off, Jeep makes it really easy so you can make sure that you don't lose any of the pieces, and you can just kind of hide everything in there. Pretty nice. So let's put this side down. Actually, let's pop this side up. You can see there's quite a bit of storage under the seats, and it makes it so you can access it. If you have someone sitting on that side or that side, you can use the storage on either one. Pretty convenient. And cup holders back here. I want to show you guys this Jeep key. Look at this, just says Jeep, and that's it. It's just a little switchblade. There's really not much on here. It's kind of cool, but whatever. I mean, whatever. So the one thing I will start off with saying is that the clutch on this is really light. It's almost artificial feeling, but it's not terrible. First gear, surprisingly tall. Second gear, pretty tall. And I feel like you don't really get as much power as you would think. And this is not a weak motor by any means. It's definitely capable, definitely very solid. It's been a long time since we've had a Jeep pickup truck. And if you guys remember back in the day, we had the Comanche, and I only know one person that's ever owned one of those. But I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You want to go off-road, but you want that pickup bed. And a lot of people even did like Wrangler conversions and tried to do what, you know, they've been begging Jeep to do for years. So anyways, I will stop chit-chatting too much and let the Jeep kind of do the talking. So first things first, there's no torque. I feel like it should have more torque than that, but I think it's just how this is geared. But the shifter itself is very easy to drive, very smooth, very forgiving. Downshifts, you can rev match pretty easy. But like I said, I just can't imagine towing with this and not having that power on the low end. And I feel like the power should be there. Can't really explain it. It's just not the normal truck gearing that I'm used to. Because this is, again, first and foremost, a work truck, especially if you get a Willys. It's just, you know, not glamorous. It doesn't have all this luxury. It's really just driving to A to B and just, I don't know, enjoying a manual, enjoying the Gladiator for what it is. I like it for cruising around, and I feel like gas mileage wise, it makes sense. I feel like power wise though, it doesn't make sense. And that's my thing with it, is that I feel like this should be more from the start. Just like muscle, like right from the get-go. Like you should get out of first gear and you should be able to pull a tree or something. I don't know what people do with pickup trucks. I personally don't tow anything, but that's why I have my Grand Cherokee that can tow if I wanted to tow. But what do I tow? Nothing. So I can't really speak for everyone on that subject. And like I said, for $2,000 to get the automatic, you're getting a little bit better gas mileage, I feel like. You're also getting increased towing capacity. So for $2,000, you go from 4,500 to 7,000 pounds. I feel like that speaks for itself. I feel like that is worth it. But correct me if I'm wrong. You let me know what you guys think. What I love about this though is that it feels very Jeep-like. I mean, you can get in this and you forget that you have the bed back there. which is kind of bad. You really should remember that, because if you're used to driving a normal Jeep, you might not remember that, and then you go to switch lanes. This doesn't have blind spot monitoring or any of that. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles. So, you know, just something to keep in mind when you get into one of these. You do have another 5 feet of truck behind you, so just something to keep in mind. I'd say this is a pretty good transmission, but it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be on a truck. It feels like more of an economy car shifting setup. I kind of have a hard time with this thing is because I feel like it fits a very specific market, that is that you just want to have the Jeep pickup truck. And in a moment, I'm about to go check out the Overland, and the Overland has a little bit more bells and whistles and the automatic, but for this, I feel like it just doesn't make sense for me personally. And I think a lot of the hype of this Gladiator is just the people that have been like big time Jeep fans that just wanted to have that 5-foot bed back there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. Interior quality, it's solid. It's very much, you know, basic level, entry level Jeep. Nothing to brag about, but also nothing that's gonna, you know, ruin your day, ruin you being in here. Yeah, honestly, it's free of a lot of distractions. The little tiny 3.5-inch screen, it's not much to really take your eyes off the road. The gauges, straightforward. I don't know. And if you've got one of these, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've actually done some towing with this thing. Because this is just speculation. That's all I've got for you guys on this one. If you're interested in this Gladiator but want something a little bit nicer. So here's a quick sneak peek of the interior on an Overland/Rubicon. And you can see it's got a lot of nicer features, so be sure to keep an eye on one of those if you need some more bells and whistles. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm almost to that 6,000 subscribers, and it would be nice to have you guys on board. So thank you guys so much for checking out yet another video in LJ's Garage. And stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next episode.